Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. You know, I'm often talking to you about God. In fact, every message that I've brought on this channel, I think I've mentioned God. And I have to, because the mission that I speak of, and the joy and the peace and the prosperity that I speak of, I'm convinced that it's all a part of a superpower plan. And that plan, superpower, is God for me. But I do not care. I do not give a good hoot and ten if nobody ever gets to heaven. I have no concern whatsoever about heaven. And you will see me speaking in churches oftentimes, and my mission there is to glorify God and to try to introduce God to you in such a way that your lives might be what you want your lives to be. But as far as me sitting there trying to tell you to get your life right so you can live eternally in heaven, you're not going to hear that from me. I do not know a thing about heaven. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I know people. I don't trust people. And what they were talking about, as far as I'm concerned, was just that, talk. I have no knowledge about heaven. But I do have some knowledge about life, about here, today. And for me, I want every living person to experience heaven here, not somewhere else, right here, right here. And the power to experience heaven right here in your bodies is all in your hands. But it is not an individual thing. Oh yes, it's individual participation, but it's not you in heaven. Singularly. It's not you, the selfish you in heaven. No, the heaven that I speak of, my friends, here in this, your bodies, in these days and these times, is a heaven that's predicated on the recognition that all of us, the human race, represents one body, one spirit of life. One spirit of life that's housed in every last one of us. It's all a part of the whole. And we as are a body. I can't say that enough. It hasn't been said enough. We are a body. All of us together is a body. And when parts of the body starts getting killed off, these bodies represent something more than just a tool to kill or die. These bodies are in positions, in place, they're feeling a void and they're being taken out to carry forward a plan that has nothing to do with your life heaven. Your life heaven on earth. But it's all about life heaven for somebody else. And usually these people that's experiencing life today tell you to experience it tomorrow, because they feel that if you wake up, that would rob them of their heaven. And indeed, it would rob them of the heaven that they experience. And it would introduce to them a new heaven. Because out of all of the stealing, lying and cheating and killing that they have done to amass the wealth that they have, that allows them to do the things that they do, because in a sense, they have transformed God into themselves. And they are Christ that's used to draw human beings to them is money, because they control it. They manipulate it, they control it. And everybody trying to get some. And to get it, you got to play their games and jump through their hoops. But ladies and gentlemen, not you. I could have experienced my heaven already just like they do. All I had to do was do the games that they do. But I sacrificed that. I sacrificed that because in my spirit, there was no heaven that left you out. Because I can walk out in the streets and see somebody laughing and having a good time, and I laugh and have a wonderful time. And I can take a next step or two and I see somebody going through some pain and suffering, and I feel the pain, I believe, worse than they do. Now, I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. But I know that feeling is going to stay there as long as people are hurting. And the only way to get rid of that feeling is to get us to recognize who we are and to have us come together again like we once were. We are our brother's keeper. We are our brothers, and our brothers are us. And when we recognize this, when we can put it in harmony and come together, oh, there are those who would be very, very upset at our coming together. But we can work with that. Let me tell you something. Righteousness is something else. If we stand up individually, you know, like a leader, well, that's the snake's head. We are a threat to the norm. We are a threat to the powers that be, and they will take us out if that's a one person up front. But if we all got the same mindset, if you know the Tea Party, how they played the game of whatever they were talking about, consistent with the Constitution as they understood it, they were all in that stuff together. Now I'm talking about something that's all inclusive. It's all inclusive because it's about everybody. Everybody profits in this. No one is left out. Not even the Tea Party. Not even the Republican or the Democratic Party. Not even the Ku Klux Klan or the Black Panthers. Not even the Jews or the Gentiles. They are all included. Men and women, straight and gay. All in it together. Why? It is our responsibility to love. Our life is wrapped up in loving one another. Our life is wrapped up in loving one another. This game that is being played where you're being robbed and through a mass system and putting you in a position where you feel that you have to sell drugs, you have to steal, you have to lie, you have to do everything you possibly can. You can't find a job and nobody cares. They give you a little bit of money, just enough to get you through a day. And then they pick up police and stuff to keep you in line, to force you to accept your life situation. You say you want to rob a bank, you better watch it. Nowadays, if you got a knife in your hand, the police will kill you and get away with it. Saying you can have a knife in your hand going back the other way, and they'll kill you and get away with it. They have become killers. They have become killers for these powers that be. And ladies and gentlemen, it is not good enough for us to get angry and just go and attack. No, these policemen are people just like we are. These killers are people just like we are. And they have been fed a philosophy of life that involves also a job for them, to put food on the table, to pay their bills. They're just trying to survive without being shot at themselves. But we know that. And so we have to overcome that by being so much bigger than that. These guys are not a threat to us. They are only hurting themselves, because the ones that they kill over on this side, we are the ones that's keeping them in a job. Because they can kill all of us. They can kill all of us. And the first requirement that they will have after killing all of us is to put down their guns and take our place. And they will be just like us. And those above them will then pick up the guns and force them as they have forced us. So you see, that ball keeps going around and round and round. But I can tell you this. If you make up your mind and decide that you're going to do it, and you do it, you can't lose. You can't lose. But individually, if you make up your mind individually, sure, I have said that your heaven that I speak of, this heaven and this day, will not be experienced as an individual thing. You can experience it as an individual spiritually. Spiritually you can do it. If you are doing the right thing, you stand up for what is right. I tell you this, you will feel like a crisp gold coin, crisp diamond. You will feel on top of the world. That's the spirit that's doing that for you. And that can make you bigger than all the problems of the world. And those problems are there. You don't ignore them. Your life is dedicated to show a path that would clear it up. Why? Because you love it. The life that you offer. The life that you found. And so you don't worry about those things out there. Here we are. Here we are. I don't want to talk too long. I think I've done about 10 minutes. And I want you to, contemplate what I have said here. But no, for me, I'm not concerned about the hereafter. I'm concerned about living here. I'm concerned about creating heaven right here. And once we can create heaven right here, I feel confident that wherever we go, if we go any place, we'll be able to take heaven with us. You might be able to take us out of heaven, but if we made it, it's going right with us wherever we are. Now that is more sensible to me than to suffer right here with a pretense by my suffering I'm going to give a reward in heaven. No, no. Whoever allowed me to suffer here will allow me to suffer in heaven. I ain't going for that. I ain't going for that. I believe we got the will, we got the everything to do it. It must be for a reason. It must be for a reason. So let's do it the right way. We see the powers that be. We see them doing it. But we see what it does, the way they do it. It separates us, it kills, it divides. So we don't want that way. We want one that draws us together, that makes us strong, that gives us more life, more abundant life. And that means bringing it all together. Bringing it all together. The good and the bad and the ugly. And love it. Love it. And love will do that. Love will find a way. Bye-bye.